A lot of computer parts are plated with a small amount of gold, and with a little bit of chemical treatment, we can isolate it. In general, there's three major steps to recover gold from computer scrap. The first thing that we need to do is to separate the gold from the circuit boards by dissolving the metal that the gold is plated on. What I do next is I place the strainer over another bowl, and I manually wash all of the PCBs using a squirt bottle. This step is done to wash away any loose gold flakes that might still be there, and to also find the PCBs that still have gold attached to them. Going back to our beaker with our gold flakes in it, I mixed it around to get a uniform mixture, and now we're ready to filter it. So the second step is to purify the gold. The three main ways to dissolve gold is to use cyanide, aqua regia, or a mixture of bleach and hydrochloric acid. The third step is to precipitate the gold from a solution and to recover it as a gold powder. After the third step, we do have an optional fourth step, and that is to melt the gold powder into a solid piece. To melt the gold, I'm going to use a melting dish that I got from Amazon. To start things off, we need to heat up the dish, and this has to be done as evenly as possible. These melting dishes can withstand very high temperatures, but they really can't handle temperature change. If the dish is heated up too quickly, or only heated in one spot, it can pretty easily crack. When I thought the dish was hot enough, I started to sprinkle in a little bit of borax. When the borax here melts, it will serve as a flux, and it will prevent the gold from sticking to the dish. The filter papers that had the gold on it from earlier, I stored in the same vial that I stored the gold in, and I added everything to the dish. Once everything had been added to the crucible, I started to heat things up with the torch, and I started burning away the paper. If we skip ahead just a few minutes, we can see that the gold is starting to melt together. If we skip ahead just another few minutes, we can see I'm left with a very small, poorly formed gold bead and some gold debris. I use my torch to blast the bead and liquefy it, and then I use my pliers to move the dish around so that the gold bead can pick up the other gold debris. Once we're left with a single gold bead, I take the torch off it, wait a few seconds for it to harden, and then I pick it up with a pair of pliers. Immediately out of the crucible, it actually had a pretty dark color. At this point, it's cooled down quite a bit, but I dunk it into some water anyway. After cooling things, I open the pliers, and I noticed that it was actually stuck to it by a little bit of borax. Borax is water soluble, so the button was just cracked off the pliers and then thrown into some water to clean it up. I got about $11 worth of gold from a little bit more than a pound of PCBs, so if you want to make a profit on this, you're going to have to get it for much cheaper than $11 per pound. I think it's really worth doing if you're looking to just have fun, but if you're looking to cut a profit, you're going to have to do a lot more in-depth research.